Okay, page 3 and 4 in your review packet. We are going to go over 3 different uses for synthetic division on this page. We will also be talking about how to write your answer solutions for each of these. So for number 3, we are to use synthetic division. Please make sure you show that, synthetic division, to determine if x plus 4 is a factor of the function. So to do that, we are going to take that positive 4 and switch the sign to negative 4, which is what we're going to be dividing by. Pull out the coefficients of each of the terms and write them out, draw your line, and perform synthetic division. At the end of this problem, you will notice that your remainder is 0. Therefore, you know that this is a solution because your remainder is 0. If your remainder were something other than 0, then this would not be a solution. That's one use. The second use is when you need to evaluate the function. Again, showing the synthetic division. In this case, you do not change the sign. You just leave it as a 3. Perform the synthetic division. Your remainder at the end is your answer. So P of 3 is equal to 1,224. And that is your answer. You get one number at the end. For number 5, using division, again, you want to change that sign when you are dividing. Bring everything down. This is a 1, a 2. Bring down the 1, the negative 1, I'm sorry. Perform your synthetic division, and at the end, you will then write your answer in this form. Okay? Negative 1 now being the coefficient of x squared, not x cubed as it was in your original problem because you divided out that x plus 2. Plus 1x plus 5, and then take your remainder and put it over the x plus 2. This is the way that your answer should be written out when you want to divide. Okay? Next one, when we're just writing out our linear factors, in this case, x just changes sign, x minus 1, x plus 3, x minus 4. In this one, I have actually 3 solutions because a multiplicity of 2. X minus 5, and then x plus 5 twice, which means I can just write x plus 5 squared. Number 8, I really only have, there's 2 solutions, but I only have to write it once. All I have to do is write the 3 one time. I don't have to write 3, 3. And then number 9, I have the solution of x is 0, x minus 2 is 2, x plus 2 is negative 2, and x minus 6 is positive 6. Last page. Last page is using finite differences to determine the type of function, and then using your calculator to plug the data into a list and do a regression equation from that. For number 10, you can see how I took the difference from negative 6 to negative 20, negative 2 to negative 6, etc. Work down. This is step 1, step 2, step 3. Since step 3 had my constant differences, I know that this is a cubic function. So again, when you plug this in your calculator, which is in a separate video, you will be able to perform the cubic regression function on your calculator to give you this equation. Same thing goes for number 11. For number 11, you will notice that it gets down to, here's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. At the 4th, you have your constant differences, therefore this is a quartic function, and you want to do the quart regression equation function, which will give you 1x to the 4th minus 2x cubed minus 5x squared plus 6x plus the 0, which you really don't need. Number 12, again, first, second, the third differences are constant. Since the third differences are constant, this is a cubic function. Plug it in, you will see I have f of x equals x cubed minus x squared minus x plus 1. Finally, number 13, it is your first differences, or your second differences that are constant, therefore it's a quadratic. You really don't need this middle 0x term. You could just write x squared minus 100. That concludes going over the review. However, couple of reminders for your test, just to make sure that you are clear about some things. A product of linear factors, whenever you see that term or that sentence, product of linear factors, that means to write out x minus 3, x plus 1, x minus 6. Whenever you see solutions, those are just single numbers where it crosses the x-axis. Please remember that the square root of negative 42 is equal I times the square root of 42. When a graph's local min or max is on the axis, that means that there are two solutions there. In this graph example, I have three solutions that are real. I have one here, and this actually represents two solutions. However, you only have to write it once, so it hits it coming down, and it hits it going back up. So therefore, you have two solutions. In this graph, there are actually three real solutions. Okay? Please make sure that you understand that concept. In synthetic division, there are three uses. One use is division. You want to put your answer in the form x squared plus 2x plus 4 plus 3 over x minus 2. Evaluation is one single number as an answer, like we went over in the review packet. And if you're checking to see if a binomial is a root, it's a yes or no answer. Okay? If you have any questions, please make sure you see your Algebra 2 teacher or an Algebra 2 teacher, or Mrs. Conway is fine. And good luck studying on your test.